Hi everyone, and welcome to today's session. Before I kick off, just a few housekeeping points from me. The session will be recorded, so if you want to share it with any colleagues, you'll receive an email within the next 24 hours with a link to the recording. The slide deck is available to download in the resources list as well. Allan's presentation will take about 45 minutes, and we'll have time at the end for questions. So if you have any questions, please send them through the chat box. Anything technical, I'll get back to you as the webinar is running. Anything about the webinar and the content in PRINCE2, Allan will cover at the end of the session. We also have a feedback survey on the screen, so if you have 2 minutes, please fill that in. And I'm just going to pass you on to Allan now.
So, thank you, Rasha. Thank you for an excellent introduction. Appreciate that. So, before we get started on PRINCE2, a bit about who I am myself. Before 2000, I was involved with the automotive industry, specialising in process design and continuous improvement at both Nissan and Toyota. In this area, I also became familiar with lean design and Kanban process control approaches. And at Toyota, again, the award of Lean Design Practitioner. So a lot of the good practices for project management teams I've been able to relate to from an operational perspective, and that's where I became aware of certain lean frameworks such as Kanban and lean design. I have over 25 years project to program experience. I took the role at AXELOS since I believe best practice supports both the PPM function and the organisation as a whole. Also, I wanted to feedback my experience through the generation of best practice guides for the benefit of end users, since these positions are hugely important to organisations. So, for those of you who are not aware of who AXELOS is, we were founded in 2013. We're a joint venture between Capita plc and the UK Cabinet Office. For PRINCE2, we have over 1 million practitioners in over 150 countries. In 2015, we launched Resilia, and also in 2015, PRINCE2 Agile, which is PRINCE2 tailored for an agile environment. And we also had the development of membership in My AXELOS and My PRINCE2. In 2017, we updated PRINCE2, and this was the first update to our PPM core product that AXELOS had conducted. An Agile shift in 2018, ITIL 4 Foundation in 2019, and we're in the process of producing our ITIL 4 Managing Professional suite of products as well. On the right-hand side of the slide, you can see some of the products and what they are. There's ones which are maybe not familiar to you: MOV, which is Management of Value; P3M3, which is our maturity model; MOR, Management of Risk; P3O, which is our product for the Portfolio Office or Portfolio Program Project Office; and MOP, Management of Portfolios. So we have done a lot in a short period of time, and we are responsible for quite a raft of products themselves. So moving on, what do AXELOS products do? The first bullet on the slide, due to the presence of case studies and testimonials, this is endorsed. It's all about transforming business and keeping the organisations competitive. So we want to make sure that organisations, when they're making an investment in project or project management best practice, then they're actually going to see the return on investment and basically see the value for money. The content we develop at AXELOS, this produces best practice through robust reviews with our ecosystem, and more about that later, and updates by subject matter experts and author teams. So we engage our ecosystem, we get feedbacks on what we propose to do, then we give it back to the author team to update. So it's a series of creation, review, update, review, and finalise. So the certifications endorsed by AXELOS distinguish individuals as knowledgeable professionals. And the third bullet basically instills best confidence in the end users and ultimately empowers them to succeed. In 2019, we've introduced a Power of Certification report, and this basically, one of the main findings from that is that it instills confidence in the end users so that they can come back to the organisation and properly implement the best practice. It's important to note at this point that AXELOS products are methods and frameworks, are not bodies of knowledge. They're practical, not theoretical, because they're based on feedback from the ecosystem. They're not a proprietary or opinion-based silver bullet solution. We endorse a common language plus concepts to provide consistency. And consistency enables organizations to become more mature with regards to project and program management and resource mobility, i.e. skilling the workforce to be more flexible when organizations are being faced with the prospect of delivering more with less. Aimed at the team level, it continues to improve. It's an evolution that we undergo with our products so that we engage the ecosystem constantly. And the guidance is a basis for examinations and qualification skills. So as I've said, it's an evolution. It's not a revolution when we do product development. And AXELOS Global Best Practice, it works actively with practitioners or end users, trainers and academics within the project management space to look to continually evolve PRINCE2. That's how we make the product still relevant and at the same time best practice. This evolutionary approach allows organizations to work with ever-evolving solutions while being confident in their ability to manage their investments. They can see the return on investment. So in essence, PRINCE2 provides a project environment which empowers people, enables successful project completeness, and drives business success through effective business change. So what are projects? Projects have been with us forever, from the pyramids to the moon landings. Other examples being marketing campaigns in various industries, product development in various industries, setting up new internal processes, regulatory and legislation changes, the construction of buildings and bridges, building infrastructure such as ports, drug research in the pharmaceutical industry, supporting healthcare projects, supporting utility projects, and many others. And it's important to stress here that PRINCE2 is not just about IT. It is widely applicable across many industry sectors. So why is PRINCE2 important? Projects can be like climbing a mountain. They can be challenging, but they are also satisfying since they can make dreams come true, change individuals, and change the world. PRINCE2 is an essential project management method to make this happen since it is generic in nature, and it's important to stress that it's generic so it can be applied in a multitude of environments. Projects allow organizations to change, and hence they change their world, the world every day. And a perfect example of this might be our involvement with the United Nations in various sectors across the world. This slide shows the representation of the 6th edition, which we are currently using for PRINCE2 across the globe. So, an introduction to PRINCE2, what it is. PRINCE2 is a principle-orientated project management method. So the actual principles are the rules or guidelines that the project must follow. PRINCE2 is easy to tailor to different projects and environments, and it's important that we talk about that as well, because that's an important principle. So, it's a clearly defined method comprising of 7 principles, 7 themes, and 7 processes. It is the most widespread project management method in the world, with over 1 million certifications taken globally to date in over 150 countries worldwide. So let's look at what's actually involved in the method itself. The PRINCE2 principles, these are the guiding principles of what makes PRINCE2 what it is. These principles cannot be tailored or changed because these are the guidelines for the method itself, or the rules by which the project needs to be operated. So, continue business justification, learn from experience, define goals and responsibilities, manage by stages, manage by exception, focus on products, and tailor to suit the project. These are the principles. When we look at the PRINCE2 themes, there are also 7 of those. The PRINCE2 themes describe the aspects of project management that must be addressed continually as the project progresses through its life cycle. The strength of PRINCE2 is the way in which the 7 themes are integrated, and this is achieved because of the specific PRINCE2 treatment of each theme. If we look at the business case, the project starts with an idea which is considered to have potential value for the organisation concerned. This theme addresses how the idea is developed into a viable investment proposition for the organisation and how project management maintains the focus on the organisation's objectives throughout the project. In essence, it answers the why question. Why are we doing this? The organisation commissioning the project needs to allocate the work to managers who will be responsible for it and steer it through to completion. Projects are usually cross-functional, so the normal line functional structures are not suitable. This theme describes the roles and responsibilities in the temporary PRINCE2 project management team required to manage the project effectively. This answers the who question. The next theme, quality. The initial idea will only be understood as a broad outline. This theme explains how the outline is developed so that all participants understand the quality attributes of the products to be delivered, and then how project management will ensure that these requirements are subsequently delivered. It answers the what will be delivered. We look at plans. PRINCE2 projects proceed on the basis of a series of approved plans. This theme complements the quality theme by describing the steps required to develop plans and the PRINCE2 techniques that should be applied. In PRINCE2, the plans are matched to the needs of the personnel at the various levels of the organisation. They are the focus for communication and control throughout the project. It answers the how much, and when. When we look at risk, projects are typically entail more risk than stable operational activity. This theme addresses how project management manages uncertainty. It answers the what if. And because the plans are broken into a series of approved plans, the plans approach reduces the risk of the project approach. Change. This theme describes how project management assesses and acts upon issues and have a potential impact on any of the baseline aspects of the project, its plans and completed products. Issues themselves may be unanticipated general problems, requests for change, or instances of a product not meeting its specifications. It answers what is the impact. Progress. This theme addresses the ongoing viability of plans. The theme explains the decision-making process for approving plans, the monitoring of actual performance, and the escalation process if events do not go according to plan. Ultimately, the progress theme determines whether and how the project should proceed. On this slide, to recap, the business case theme answers the question, why? Why are the business doing this? The organisational theme answers the question, who is going to do it? The quality theme answers the question, what will be produced? The plans theme answers the question, how much, and when will the product be delivered? The risk theme answers the question, what if this particular incident happens? The change theme answers the question, what is the impact to the organisation if this happens? And the progress theme answers the questions, where are we now, where are we going, and if we should carry on. So that slide is very important to understand at a high level what's actually involved in the themes within PRINCE2. If we look at the PRINCE2 processes, they're as follows, going from starting up a project, directing a project, initiating a project, managing the stage boundary, controlling the stage, managing product delivery, and closing a project. So they follow a chronological order. These processes are then represented in the PRINCE2 process model. And this is a representation from the diagram in the PRINCE2 manual. So this is the PRINCE2 model. PRINCE2 processes address the chronological flow of the project with actions relating to the different themes included in order. So as you work through the process on the project lifecycle, there will be associated actions that need to be done, which will involve certain actions relating to themes, but driven by the guiding light of principles. It's important to understand this. The actions actually follow chronological order. So if we look at the structure of PRINCE2, this shows the structure of PRINCE2 and how it relates to the project environment. This is a very important diagram because what it shows is how the actual process methodology itself is put together and how it interacts with the project environment. So you can see that all parts of the project environment touch all parts of the themes and principles and supported by the project lifecycle chronological process through the PRINCE2 processes. Earlier, I mentioned an important principle, which is tailoring, and this is what we call the seventh principle. PRINCE2 is tailored to suit the project environment, the size, the complexity, importance, team capability, and risk. The value of PRINCE2 is that it's a universal project management method, or generic project management method, that it can also be used for any project type, geography, or culture. The purpose of tailoring is to ensure that the project management method used is appropriate to the project. For example, aligning the method with the business processes that may govern and support the project, such as HR, finance, and procurement. The project controls are appropriate to the project scale, complexity, importance, team capability, and risk. For example, the frequency and formality of reports and reviews. And this is important to stress. Tailoring requires a project board and a project manager to make proactive choices and decisions on how PRINCE2 will be applied. It is their responsibility to do this. When tailoring PRINCE2, it is important to remember that effective project management requires information, not necessarily documents, and decisions, not necessarily meetings. And what this basically counteracts is some of the misunderstandings about PRINCE2 being over-bureaucratic. If tailored properly, PRINCE2 is not over-bureaucratic whatsoever. If PRINCE2 is not tailored, it is unlikely that the project management effort and approach would be appropriate for the needs of the project. This can lead to mechanistic project management at one extreme, method followed without question, and heroic, where the method is not followed at all. So tailoring is a very, very important principle and a very important process in using the method effectively. So, what are the benefits of PRINCE2? We're only going to mention 3 or 4 benefits here, but there's many more. PRINCE2 basically reassures stakeholders through the globally recognized name of PRINCE2 because it gives governance, it gives understanding, it's used in many countries, it's used globally, therefore stakeholders seem to be more comfortable with the actual methodology. More importantly, it uses the global common language of project management, understanding the terminology and processes of the world's most adopted project management methodology. And one of the key problems that we're seeing within projects at the moment is poor communication, which is causing project failure. PRINCE2, with its common vocabulary, attempts to mitigate this happening, because everyone should know how to use a project using PRINCE2. It can be used on any project regardless of size, type and complexity, since it is generic. So these are some of the main benefits. From an organizational perspective, some benefits for organizations: create stronger communication across your team through the common use of terminology. This attempts to resolve one of the key factors of projects failing, that of poor communication. Align project managers in the business by ensuring that they understand the value chain and adopt a customer-centric focus, which is important. Improve trust through better team working. Influence organizational structure through defined roles and responsibilities. Unite teams and processes through a defined project organization structure and roles, which goes back to one of the PRINCE2 principles. Improve focus by focusing on products. Ensure cost management through a tried and tested process, coupled with the principle of continued business justification. It also provides greater project success within your business by encouraging fact-based decision-making using defined and relevant metrics. So it's hugely important. For the individual, some of the benefits are: maximize your project success with the PRINCE2 methodology, which is tried and tested. Practitioners describe it as valuable to their current job role and future job role. Also, it strongly positions the individual in the job market, since PRINCE2 certificate holders said PRINCE2 has helped them with their career progression. Common terminology to prevent mistakes being made. Understand your role and the role of your teams, including the triggers, inputs, and expected outputs. It's a structured, principle-driven approach focusing on the project lifecycle. So it's chronological, it's systematic, and it takes the emotion out of projects, which sometimes can be highly emotive. So it's principle-driven with a fully integrated set of themes and processes. As was said, the themes and processes are integrated together with the overarching guiding principles, making sure the method's employed correctly. Lessons recorded and acted on, and control start, which promotes efficiency and chances of success, and qualifications recognized around the world. From our Power of Professional Certification report, which was published this year, PRINCE2 is the top certification earned in the PPM space, driven by candidate source mix and target topic selection. PRINCE2 is the top, as you can see in this extract from the report. It's the top certification earned in the PPM space, followed by PMP from PMI and Agile PEM from the Business Agile Consortium. So this is from our report, and we can maybe get copies of the link to the landing pages for these reports for the PPM benchmark and Power of Certification report included, so you can reference it. So, what is the appeal of PRINCE2? It helps to successfully deliver projects of any size or complexity. And the method is universal, so size or complexity doesn't matter. For the second bullet, it's applicable in a variety of industries, from education to utilities and financial services and many more. And just to reinstate the fact that it's not just IT. It's built from a wealth of experience. We include end users, we include sponsors, consultants, trainers and academics, feeding into regular cycles of review and update. It provides this interest for managing any project. And the fifth bullet, projects allow organizations to produce new outputs, which result in change. Additionally, in October 2018, we launched a new directing book which supports the 2017 Management Guide through providing governance guidance to the project boards who direct PRINCE2 practitioner project managers. With regards to translations, PRINCE2 6th edition core guidance and the foundation and practitioner examinations are available in German, Dutch, Polish, French, Norwegian and Danish. With the 5th edition, 2009, examinations in these languages been available until the end of this year. So, what project management skills will you learn with PRINCE2? PRINCE2 is an integrated method of principles, themes and processes that addresses the planning, which is at the top of the diagram, followed by the delegation, followed by the monitoring, followed by the control of all 6 aspects of a project performance. And these 6 aspects are as follows: cost, timescales, quality, scope, benefits and risk. It's important to stress this is what PRINCE2 provides. The following slide describes the role in more detail. As you can see, the PM is the single focus for the day-to-day management of the project. The PM has the authority to run the project on behalf of the project board within the constraints laid down by the project board. The role of the PM must not be shared. It's important to do so. The project manager will usually come from the corporate program management or customer organization, but there may be projects where the PM comes from the supplier. The PM is responsible for the work in all the PRINCE2 processes, except for the direction and project process, and of course the appointment of the project executive and project manager during the pre-project process of starting up. The PM also delegates responsibility for the managing product delivery process to the team managers. The PM manages the team managers and the project support and is responsible for liaison with project assurance and the project board. In projects with no separate individual allocated to a team manager role, the PM will be responsible for managing work directly with the team members involved. In projects with no separate project support role, the support tasks also fall to the PM, although they may be shared with team members. As is shown in the slide, the PM is a single focus for the day-to-day management of a project. As you can see from the many spokes on the wheel, there are many different aspects to the PM role, but I have to stress there may be more. I mentioned earlier that we updated PRINCE2, and this was basically the first time that AXELOS had updated one of their core products. So I'd just like to briefly take you through how we actually did that. My role within this was as SMA lead, so a lot of it brings back memories of the process itself. So, first of all, we looked at direct community feedback, and this was shown through case studies and feedback from our trainer and partner consultation and through events. And what we heard was that organizations gain value from PRINCE2. This is why we've done case studies. But the last update was 2009, and obviously the business world has changed. There's more focus on practical implementation in books and exams, more focus on adapting the method to a given situation, i.e., can you apply it in marketing, can you apply it in HR, etc. The way people invest in professional development is evolving. We also, to support this, we also ran a number of research projects. The partner consultation report, the future project manager research, whereby we took a focus group to anticipate what would actually happen to the project management business in the future. And we also are looking at increasing professionalism of project managers. And basically, the effects on organizations. What did we have to take that on board and build into the method itself? So we did an awful lot of upfront research before starting. When we did start, through collaboration with a global review group, we had been able to refine the product by acting on the review comments received. And I have to say that we were drawing on real-life project management expertise. So the updated PRINCE2 has been developed in close consultation and collaboration with the project management professionals from the widest possible range of sectors and cultures, practitioners, organizations, our community and academics. The extent of the work culminated in that, which was being done externally, but within AXELOS, required us to build a substantial team. And that involved product development, commissioning, examinations, translation, accreditation teams. So it involved the entire organization. In addition to that, we had an external team of 3 authors, 3 mentors, 10 examiners, and nearly 80 reviewers of the guidance across 2 review stages, from which we received over 3,500 review comments, and we acted on each of these. Also, to help us deliver it robustly, we also had the support of an advisory group built from the community. The overall aim was to create something that is of the highest quality, community-driven and collaborative, and we did it. The next slide basically shows the various sectors we engaged to do this with our community, from academia to practitioners. But when we look at the whole complexity of what the update involved, it can be summarized in this one slide. Nearly 2.5 years work can be summarized in that what we achieved was we placed more emphasis on principles, especially tailoring, and themes, including techniques. So we were concerned that PRINCE2 was becoming too much process-driven. That's good. You need to follow the project life cycle and be chronological. But at the same time, you need to have more emphasis on principles which drive the actual projects and how they're followed, and also how the themes are affected by the tailoring and how the themes are affected if you're using a PRINCE2 project. It's important that for the themes, we actually said this is what the bare minimum should be for each theme, which is important for organizations to tailor the method more effectively. A bit more about who is PRINCE2 for. Private and public sector, a variety of industries, education, utilities, healthcare, construction, transport, public sector, and many others. PRINCE2 can be used for PMO project managers, and when I mean PMO project managers, these are people who are aware of the methods, or they might be using them, or they might be not. So the challenges for PMO project managers include poor communication, meeting stakeholder and customer expectations, limited resource, under pressure to do more with less, constrained project timeframes and lack of visibility, lack of embedded project management approaches, or senior leadership buy-in to support project delivery. All in all, a very, very challenging environment. PRINCE2 supplies improved communication within teams and to stakeholders through clear roles and responsibilities, and reduces the chances of poor communication that can limit project progress. It increases efficiency since it provides the tools and structure to manage cost, risk, time, scope, quality, and benefits, allowing project managers to plan, manage, and deliver projects efficiently. It enables collaboration. The common language of PRINCE2 provides a consistent approach across the project team and organization to keep projects moving forward. It mitigates risk. Managing by stages enables risk to be raised and resolved in a timely manner, ensuring that anything that could affect project delivery is managed effectively and timely. It's a tailored approach specific to the project, It is scalable, it is flexible, it is repeatable, ensuring the appropriate amount of planning, control and governance is applied so we don't have heroic or mechanistic project management being endorsed. Manage change effectively provides the structure and governance to initiate, manage and deliver change within an organisation. And this is the key to business progression and success. So the opportunities for project managers who want, PRINCE2 also provides the opportunities for project managers who want to enhance their personal performance, develop new skills and confidence to help them do a better job, and progress in their career. For non-PMO professionals, and this can be people doing project work in marketing, HR, operations, finance, or wherever departments, PRINCE2 defines a project as a temporary organisation that is created for the purpose of delivering one or more business products according to an agreed business case. So the challenges for people within non-PMO sectors is that without any guidance or skills to create a plan and manage cross-departmental teams that gets the project from start to finish and the required time, scale and cost is a real challenge to the individuals. They're also under pressure to deliver results to the stakeholders and they need support to structure and deliver projects successfully. Because if you've got a structured project and regular information communicated effectively to stakeholders, this gives them confidence. Regarding what PRINCE2 provides, it delivers results for your business with a clear plan in place and a structure to manage progress. PRINCE2 provides individuals with the structure and tools to deliver results for their stakeholders and organisations. It provides guidance on structuring a project from start to finish. PRINCE2 provides a structured method that can be tailored to your needs. It establishes control. By using the processes, principles and themes, it ensures projects are managed in a controlled manner, escalating issues to senior management when required through the management by exception principle. And this is a really key principle. Improve communication. The structure of the project and define roles and responsibilities enable better communication between team and to stakeholders. Common reason for project failure. It's so important that both parties understand the vocabulary of what they are meaning. Ensure benefits are achieved through continued business justification and a benefits management approach. There is a clear focus on what the project needs to achieve and how to achieve it and when to achieve it. Increase your knowledge and skill set through learning the common language of project managers worldwide, adding a recognised certification to your CV. So PRINCE2's certification scheme. PRINCE2 consists of guidance, training and certification. There are 2 certification levels, foundation and practitioner. We will look at that in more detail. PRINCE2 Foundation is for individuals that are interested in learning how to manage projects successfully and develop their understanding of project delivery. The course provides the theoretical knowledge of how to plan, manage and deliver projects from start to finish. PRINCE2 Practitioner is for project managers and professionals that are managing projects as part of their role. It extends the knowledge gained at foundation level to enable learners to practically apply the method in a live working environment. It is a must-have certification for both project managers and non-project management professionals so that they can deliver value to their employers and at the same time enhance their careers. The prerequisites and expiry dates for PRINCE2 Foundation. There are no prerequisites for PRINCE2 Foundation. It is an entry-level certification that doesn't require any previous knowledge or experience, making it accessible to anyone interested in gaining project management skills. This certificate has no expiry date. PRINCE2 Practitioner. To take the PRINCE2 Practitioner examination, you must have PRINCE2 Foundation and there are other accepted certificates which are available from the AXELOS website. The PRINCE2 practitioner certificates are valid for 3 years, and the 3-year time period is to coincide with the usual increment or impression update on the PRINCE2 product itself. And so we're looking at an impression update, not an update of the entire method, just an impression update, which is smaller scale. To remain accredited, practitioners can reset the exam or log CPD points through our online subscription, MyPrince2. So this is a bit more detail about the certification scheme. So it includes suggested training and the examination structure involved in both the PRINCE2 Foundation and PRINCE2 Practitioner. The Foundation and Practitioner levels are accompanied by a content subscription service, MyPrince2, that offers PRINCE2 project managers a wide range of content designed to help them achieve examination success, excel in their professional roles, and advance in their careers. MyPrince2 is accompanied by a CPD toolset that PRINCE2 practitioners can use to keep their certification up to date. So what we do within MyPrince2 is we offer templates, we offer blogs, white papers, etc., to help support the community. Supporting publications for PRINCE2, we have the PRINCE2 study guide, which helps with examination preparation for the individual, which involves hints and tips and typical questions that you have to face in both the foundation and practitioner exam. PRINCE2 Pocketbook, which is a condensed aid memoir introduction to PRINCE2. We have also recently introduced the PRINCE2 app, which is used to help, in conjunction with the study guide, people who are on the move so they can get up to speed with the learning prior to doing their PRINCE2 course. Our Educational Institute, our EI, PeopleSet, also have an examination guide which supplements the PRINCE2 study guide. And once you're up and running and using the PRINCE2 method for real, you have the PRINCE2 directing book, which gives you an insight on what you need to do and provide for the project board and what your expectations are of the project board themselves. So the directing book is for the project board and the project manager. Some current trends that we have done from a research perspective. As I sort of mentioned before, we in 2019, just recently, we published a PPM benchmark report, and that we're looking at the importance of the PPM function. And basically, we will send you a link to the landing page of that report because there's a lot of information in there that needs to be looked at. We have the AXELOS Professional Certification Report. I'm going to basically look at some highlights from that in a moment. RS People Report, which shows employment and salary trends. And the fourth bullet on the slide reflects a PMI report about job growth and talent gap, which shows that the biggest increase in project management jobs in project-oriented industries will take place in India, China, and the US. And also there'll be an increase in this space globally as organizations strive to change what they do. So the future is indeed bright for project professionals. As I mentioned before, the Powerful Professional Certification Report, we will send you a copy of the link to the landing page of the report. But I'd like to share with you some of the highlights from it. So the top professional certification subjects are ITSM and project management for both decision makers and end users. Decision makers are people within organizations who have got budget and responsibility to block book or block purchase training for their organization. And it's interesting to note that the demand for these certifications will remain in for the next 2 years and probably for the foreseeable future. PRINCE2 is the top certification earned in the PPM space, and 97% of decision makers and 84% of end users say certifications have a positive impact. That's great news for the industry itself. And the majority of end users pursue certifications to build new skills, gain confidence in their professional skills. Other decisions that make sponsors certifications to meet company industry requirements, to keep the organisation up to space for changing technology, and improve employee productivity. Other benefits for end users include increased job efficiency and higher job satisfaction, and also the ability to effectively get themselves involved in new projects. So certification allows you to be confident and discuss projects at a confident level with your peers. So the value of professional certification for individuals, validation of learning. We all manage projects, big or small. We all deliver a service to the colleagues around us. Often these are the activities we enjoy the most at work, as they offer a challenge and the opportunity to work closely with our colleagues. Our survey backs this up. There is overwhelming belief that it is vital to have the piece of paper that validates the learning. And I tend to agree with that as well. There is almost a complete agreement about the value of certification among our respondents. The skills that we learn allow us to take part in new and interesting projects, which draw upon creativity, sense of involvement, openness to change, and a variety of workload. This adds to our satisfaction at work and gets us excited about turning up at work on a Monday morning. For any company, enthusiastic and excited staff is a massive asset. Certification helps. Our survey suggests that it is so important to general happiness of employees, which has to be good news to the controller of the purse strings within the organisation. When we look at confidence, one of the important factors cited in our survey was the confidence certification gives to the successful candidate in their ability to do their job and the skills they have. In a world of imposter syndrome, this is no small thing, especially young people who are not long from the world of higher education. It assures them that they are fit for the workplace and can make a valuable contribution to the goals of the organisation. This is hugely important, and this is something that end users and end user organisations that I've met have issues with, and this is what certification can help mitigate. Personal development certification is an attainable objective for staff to improve their skills and prove their worth. It sets them up for promotion and to keep up with the changes in technology, and is widely agreed that it enhances productivity and efficiency. It is perhaps not unusual that countries that are keen to develop either as individuals or an economy who are investing in learning certification. The young people, for example, of Poland, who may now look for work outside the country boundaries in the EU, can ensure that they have the certification that shows future employers they know their stuff. Job satisfaction is high on the list of priorities because project and program management are not easy jobs to conduct. Satisfaction is brought about in part by good communication with colleagues, which is brought about by a common understanding of a well-known project management methodology. Just before I finish, I'd like to shatter some myths around PRINCE2. PRINCE2 2009 was indeed Agile enabled. PRINCE2 is wrongly classified as waterfall only. PRINCE2 Agile is not going to replace PRINCE2. PRINCE2 Agile is in fact an extension module of PRINCE2 used in an Agile space. There is in fact a new directing book to support both, I have to stress both, PRINCE2 6th edition and PRINCE2 Agile. I'd like to thank you for listening, and I Have we got any questions, Rasha?
Thanks, Allan. Thanks everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them through the chat box, and Allan can give you some answers now, or if you'd prefer to send them through later, that's totally up to you. If any questions pop up, if once you've checked the resource list, if you have any questions, let us know. Please, if you've got 2 minutes, try and fill in the feedback form just so we know what you thought about the session, and so we can learn better for future sessions as well. And if you keep an eye on our website, it's got a lot of content on there, so you can find out a lot more about all our certifications. There's a lot of blogs as well from industry thought leaders, which you'll probably find really useful. And then keep an eye out on any future webinars we have. We'd love it if you could join us. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.